Good morning, everybody. Hey, Robin, good to see you. Chezzy, if you could, everybody, please retweet and share this. Hey, Craig. Hey, Michael. Robin, Leo, good to see you. How's everybody this Monday morning? Good to see everybody. Motown 974-456. How are you? Hello, Sylvia. Hey, Jewel, good morning. Gregory, good to see you. Keep the faith. Absolutely, Leo. That's what we always do in here. Never anything different. Hey, Wayne. Good to see you. Hey, Motown. If you can, I don't think people are getting notifications. So if you retweet everything, perhaps they will get the notification someday and they'll be turned back on. All right. Before we get started, and there's a lot to talk about today, I want to read to you quickly Psalm 119, part of it. Blessed are the undefiled in the way who walk in the law of the Lord. Blessed are those who keep his testimonies, who seek him with the whole heart. They also do no iniquity. They walk in his ways. You have commanded us to keep your precepts diligently. Oh, that my eyes were directed to keep your statutes. Then I would not be ashamed. When I look into all of your commandments, I will praise you with uprightness of heart. When I learn your righteous judgments, I will keep your statutes. Oh, do not forsake me utterly. Amen. Found you on Parler. All right. Good, Motown. Did you find me on Cloud Hub? Are you following me there? Hey, Linda. Good to see you. Linda's on Facebook. Hey, Mrs. Andrew Vaughn. John. Good to see you. Thank you, everybody, for sharing this. I'm going to start out with talking about Project Veritas. I don't know if you've had a chance to view the Project Veritas video today, but sometime today you need to go there. This is a whistleblower from Google who is talking to James O'Keefe regarding what goes on at Google. And let me just tell you something. A lot of this we suspected, but we're now getting information from this whistleblower that a lot of what we suspected is absolutely true. And it's worse than what we thought. It really is worse than what we thought. Hey, Danielle. Some of the things that came out of that video are, that was me who tweeted you PV. Okay. Okay, Motown. Thank you. Hey, Danielle, they said that this was when he did an undercover investigation, O'Keefe did, and he was talking to this woman from Google. Hey, April. And she said basically, we don't care about the antitrust stuff. We don't care what the government might do or what they're saying. We're going to go ahead and do what we want to do. Hey, Mike. And what we want to do is, look, we got screwed. Everybody got screwed in 2016. Meaning, they got screwed. Politicians got screwed. The media got screwed. Everybody got screwed. Hey, Tim, good morning. Because they wanted Hillary Clinton. And they want to make sure that this never, ever, ever happens again. Hey, Proud American, 7 Proud American. They want to make sure that somebody like Donald Trump never gets elected or reelected ever again. They don't want to take any chances. So according to this guy, hey, McKinsey, what's happening is that, we're gonna make changes. They describe it as, well, we're kind of making changes. We don't like the racism and hate. So we're going to go in there and we're going to reconfigure things because we don't want any of that happening again. And they're saying that, we're getting rid of unfairness. They can want in one hand and poop in the other. Yeah, exactly, Michael. But they say, they're not worried about the antitrust stuff. They've been through that before. They'll do it again and they'll survive it again. So they want to sway the 2020 election. Yeah, Chezzy, they want to sway the 2020 election, but it's worse than that. I mean, it truly is. When you break it down, it's worse than that. For example, they have what's called ML, like Mary, ML fairness. And that is a machine learning fairness. Now, what they want is what they label ML fairness. But as we all know, the way that liberals look at something and the way that conservatives look at something is entirely, typically, usually the opposite. So what is their fairness? Their fairness is social justice fairness. That's what they want. They want to go out there and make you believe what they want you to believe, whatever their agenda is. You know, we talk about the public schools and we talk about the progressives getting into public schools. We will have to step it up in our push for 2020. Michael, that goes without saying. Here we go. Cloud Hub is one and Parler is the other. You got to get on that for sure. Either one of those or both. Yeah, Danielle, the left are racist. Diane said, welcome back. Thank you, Diane. Appreciate it. Diane over on Facebook. So basically what is happening is they are biased propaganda. That's right, Motown. And what they're doing is they are now going so far, according to this guy, they're going so far as to train the AI themselves. Robin said, I will never believe them again. They are against everything true and good. Absolutely, Robin. They've proven that, right? So what does the ML stand for? It's machine learning, Chezzy. ML fairness is machine learning fairness. So they change the AI so it will keep people like you and me off of search engines, or they will deboost us. There should be a law, only libs should hold office, get rid of two parties, make dim. Okay. I'm not sure what that means, Mike. If it's one party, let's make it Republican. So as you can see, this is it, AI itself. They've trained it and they're continuing to train it to do exactly what they want to fulfill their social justice agenda. But it goes even a step further in that they are teaching it so they can teach you, so that you will be brainwashed into thinking what they want you to think. And what I was saying a minute ago, it's like when we talked about when the progressives got into the public school and little by little, very subtly, they started to change things. We will fight with the word of God. Exactly, Robin. And so they started to change things very subtly in schools. They're doing this with Google in that they're not letting you know what they're doing. They're pretending like, oh, we just want fairness for all. What they want is their own agenda. They see the only fair agenda as being their agenda. They're not looking at the rational. What is fairness in the big scheme of things in the world? What's rational? The rational thinking has gone out the window. And all they want is their own brand of fairness. It will eventually backfire on them, Chezzy said. I don't know. It's the Dunning-Kruger effect, Michael said. It's amazing. And again, how many people, okay, they gave an example. They showed that you could go look up like men can. And they're putting in, when you do that, the drop down box will go, men can get pregnant, men can, give birth. I mean, all these things that the left agenda wants you to believe, that's what you're going to see in the drop down box. Not that people are making those searches, but they're doing that themselves. So you might think people are really searching for that, and they're not. Robin said, spiritual battle raging. I woke up with an uneasy feeling, prayed. Absolutely, Robin. So do you agree with Warren's plan to break up monopolies? That's not Warren's plan. That's been the plan all along in the United States. We're not supposed to have monopolies. We never did agree on having monopolies. Yes, monopolies ought to be broken up. Why wouldn't they be? Google is a perfect example, and Pinterest is a perfect example, where if you go and you try to find something on Christians or pro-life, you're going to be, that's going to be shielded from you, right? You're going to be censored. You're not going to be able to see that. So all of these huge conglomerates have decided what you are going to see. Google has been cherry picking our searches for years. Yes, Tim, they have, but it's gotten a lot worse, apparently, according to this guy. Hey, Barbara. And they have worked since 2016 to make sure that Trump doesn't get reelected. Well, she's going to actually do something about it. No, she's going to talk about it, exonerated. Cause that is what Trump was he was exonerated. She's going to talk about it. We're not Elizabeth Warren fans in here. So if you are, that's fine, but we're not. Tim said, yes, it is worse. Yeah, it's a lot worse. Sorry Late was doing storm cleanup. No problem, Barbara. I hope everything is all right with that. But you've got to go. And here's what I would say. As of today, stop using Google as a search engine. Just forget Google. As much as you can stop using Google, stop using Google. I know it's difficult because Carmen, because we automatically go to Google, and we have for years. We've been trained to do that, right? It's easy. We go there, we search something, boom, boom, you're done. Hey, Daniel, I would say try things like DuckDuckGo, anything else other than Google to give them any business whatsoever. Hey, Renee. Because, if they lose money, that's the only way that these people ever understand things. The law has to come down on them, and they lose money. That's the only two things that they understand. They're not going to change. They're going to continue to deboost you. They're going to continue to give you what they want you to see. And that's it. I mean, look at Facebook. Facebook now, has limited most of what I do. My shows are I can't even post them anymore. And so I'm not getting the numbers that I used to on my God's Views because the reach I've been deboosted. So, I mean, it's working. It really is working. Business wise, it's a negative economically to break them up, but what they are doing, I don't care. Michael said, Renee says, I use DuckDuckGo. Yes. John uses it as well. Tim uses it, has been using it for years. Yeah, bust them up. Barbara said, no trouble. We can see lots of sticks, limbs, and leaves. Well, that's all you see. That's good. What have they done lately? I've been out of the loop. Renee, go back and listen to the beginning. And I've been talking for the last 15 minutes about, what they've been doing in Project Veritas uncovered today. Good morning. Happy you're back. Miss you. Thank you, Teresa. Teresa, I was back last week. I was back on Thursday. I think most people didn't realize that or didn't remember to come look, but I've been back since Thursday. But thank you. I'm back now. But it's one of the reasons that I tell you, that why we have to keep getting the word out there, why we like shows and things that I'm doing, my articles that I write, whatever. If you're not getting them out there, they're not getting the reach because, Facebook's not even allowing some people to see them, and I call it ramping down, the reach. You just got notified. Renee, just listening today. Okay, Carmen. Yes, read it on Clout Hub, Barbara said. Yeah, it's nuts. Nobody is forcing you to use Google. There are plenty of options. Well, thank you, Exonerated. I realize there are plenty of options, but I'll tell you what, Exonerated, I don't like to be used. I don't like to be manipulated. Maybe you do. I don't. So when I go to something and I look for a search, I want to see the truth, not what somebody wants me to see, not what somebody's agenda is. So there you go. Do I like that? No. Hey, Aussie Nick, how are you? Should people like that who are fake and being dishonest, should they stay in business? No, I don't think so. So there you go. You may like that kind of thing. You might like to be manipulated. I personally don't. And I'm not going to support them. And I'm going to ask other people not to support them because they're founded on a lie and all they're doing is spreading lies. So why would I do that? My pastor just did a live video on meeting take place with Facebook and churches, how best to serve the church community. I hopefully, here's what Facebook will probably tell them. Just, pay us and, that will help, get your word out there. Yeah. Don't waste your money on Facebook because whatever they tell you they're doing, I don't know that they're actually doing it. I saw a documentary years ago about Facebook. When they tell you they're doing something, they're putting your search someplace that you don't even want it to go. And I know there are better ways of doing that search now, but sorry, I fell out of the loop since this baby got here. It's been 25 years since it was a baby in the house. Yeah, that can do it, Teresa. That can do it. So anyway, no, I'm not going to support or ask anybody else to support any group. I don't care who they are that are lying to people. They lie to Congress and most of them are not tech enough to get it. Screw Facebook. Sorry. I'm sick of it. Robin said, yeah, I'm pretty much sick and done with Facebook. I'm staying on just basically for our show until we can figure out something better to do. I'm really done with it. I'm tired of being put on restriction because Facebook doesn't like what I'm saying. We are in trouble with Facebook, especially with this new currency they are pushing. Michael, if anybody buys that currency, man, you are playing with fire is what you're doing. So, I'm sure people will buy it, but Facebook, Google, big tech, those big businesses like that, unfortunately, seem to want to do nothing more but to control the narrative. Okay. I'll leave it like that. Control the narrative. So I don't find that good in any way or valuable in any way. Zuckerberg is dead. Yeah. Well, he's trying to bring it back to life, Nick. And he's trying to do that, I think, with the currency thing. But I think you have to get on other platforms, start talking, start building up. I guess Gab has made some improvements. Yeah, the cryptocurrency. Gab has made some improvements. I've seen some messages come out. I haven't gone there to check it out, but good for them if they're improving. I don't know if they've improved the other stuff. You better watch out. Yeah. No one trusts them anymore. They lied and breached too many times. Aussie Nick said, "Good morning, Dawn." I'll stick with Cloud Hub, Robin said. I don't like Bitcoin. Neither do I. Did you hear about that? What was it? It was a city that were being held hostage because these people had hacked into their computers. It was a town, I believe. And they were asking for something like an astronomical amount, maybe $600,000 or something. And they wanted it in Bitcoin in order for them to get access back to their own computers. Watch Zuck will win a Pulitzer over this. Yep, Michael, probably so. I think so. But, so Bitcoin is being used. There's no way to trace that and all. So the hackers are using it. They love it. So we are, our world has changed a lot and it's continuing to change right in front of our faces. Whether we like it, whether we want it to or anything else, it's happening. Hi, PB. Gracie's here. Cool. Do you really? Well, that's right. Good for you, Skeet. Why don't you go do that in the privacy of your own weird mind? Wait, so yeah, I know. Wayne, can you believe that? Somebody's lied to us. I know Wayne's just now finding out the truth. Yeah, for people who don't know this, Facebook, the younger people look at Facebook as for old people. And by old people, I mean 35 years and up. Imaginary money, Don said. Yep. Hey, God rules forever. So if you think that all the millennials and everybody else are using Facebook, they're not. It's the older people who are using Facebook. And so, yeah, Facebook is pretty much not keeping up with everything else, but they're trying to do things so that they can. Yeah, I know. Hey, Gracie. I know Gracie came in and she left again. Come here, Gracie. Come here, girl. My daughter even said Facebook is for older people. Yeah, well, they don't say older people, Robin. They just say old people. Your daughter was probably nice, but young people use Instagram. That's right. Good morning, Teresa. Yeah, young people use Instagram and they use other things. They don't use Facebook and they haven't for years. So if the older people would stop using it, they'd probably go out of business. All right. No. So, all right. So here's the other thing that's going on. That the quote unquote raids were put on hold for the next 2 weeks. For 2 weeks, according to Donald Trump, it was to give the Democrats time to try to do something at the border. I don't know. Facebook has been purchasing. Nick said, I'm not sure what they've been purchasing other than the crypto stuff. But anyway, it's being rumored that there was a leak, and there was a leak about the raid, And the reason that it was called off is because they're saying that the acting director, DHS McAleenan, is the one. He didn't like it. He wasn't in favor of it. He didn't want it to happen. So he went about leaking. Do not invest in fake currency. You will fall prey to sophisticated traders who will set you up for a pump and dump. Tim said. Other platforms to perform future revenue and buy time by buying out competition, Nick said. That is fishy. Why hold the raids? The Dems aren't going to do anything about the border. No, they're not going to do anything. I just think, and people were saying, well, why would President Trump broadcast that? Why would he, hey, Cully, why would he tell everybody that that's what they were going to do? Probably he went ahead and he didn't tell everybody. It was probably McAleenan who let that leak. Think AOC leaked it, Cully said. I think it could have been McAleenan. Maybe he wasn't in favor of it. He didn't want it to happen, and that was his way of stopping it. Nothing surprises me anymore. Here's another thing that surprised me. I will have to say this surprised me. Over the weekend on Instagram, it was, I don't know if Donald Trump Jr. put it there or not. I can't remember which one I was following that put it there. But there was a picture together, a photograph of Ivanka Trump, McMaster, and Nikki Haley all at a party together. Now, do you find that a little surprising? I don't know why he keeps giving in the thread, into threads, Democrat. Well, Renee, again, if there was a leak, he had to come up with something, I suppose. If you believe that there was a leak, they're saying that 5 officials told the Washington Examiner, not the Washington Post, but the Washington Examiner, that it was McAleenan's decision to go rogue and stymie the operation, which prompted the White House to call off the 10-city operation. He's the DHS. He's the acting DHS secretary, Danielle. So, maybe this is why that the president got Tom Homan back to kind of oversee all of these things. I don't know. But we need somebody who's going to go in there and do something, because we're getting people like AOC, who again is spreading their propaganda. Teresa, it was Nikki Haley, Ivanka Trump, and McMaster. All together, all at a party. It's not surprising Ivanka is a globalist liberal Democrat. I know, Renee. Yes, he should be fired, Danielle said. I'm just surprised that they were all together. And, there's been, let's hope the future ex-DHS. I know, Tim. Her and Jared have always been, they've always been Democrats. That's not, but, that's not anything new about Jared and Ivanka. What was a little surprising was seeing McMaster back around in the picture, and Nikki Haley. Now there's been talk, and I've seen several people saying this, that wouldn't it be great to replace Vice President Pence with Nikki Haley? I don't know why that talk has gotten started. Hey Patrick, good morning, late as usual. That's okay. I don't know why that talk got started. I don't think it would be a good idea. I don't know how you feel about it, but it's funny that, hey Alexis, Nikki Haley is showing up a lot lately in different places. And I know she said she was going to work on his campaign, but something seems different. No, Nikki Haley, please, Tim said. AOC needs a coloring book to occupy your mind, Rick said. I hope Kushner never runs for president. I don't think he will, Danielle. Renee can't see comments. No, not now. No replacement, Robin said. No, it wouldn't at all, Alexis said. Yeah, it wouldn't be good. And, people forget. People say, oh, I really love Nikki Haley. Michael said, leave it alone. I say, yes. They love Nikki Haley, but you got to remember, Nikki Haley is the one who started all of that talk about taking away the Confederate flag, the Confederate statue. She got all that stuff started. Not a good idea. Pence is better, Danielle said. Nikki Haley is not a true conservative, not trustworthy, Renee said. Happy Monday, everyone. Hey, Kim, good to see you. Yeah, I'm not for that, although I think that somewhere in the future, Nikki Haley is going to run for president. I really do think that's going to happen. It could be that, that if all goes as planned, then maybe she will run with Mike Pence and maybe be his vice president candidate. I don't know, but I see her more as somebody who would want to run for president. But hopefully that's down the road. I've been wondering why all the Trump signs only say Trump and not Pence too. Well, they don't all just say that, Chezzy. There are some Trump signs that say Trump and Pence. So I saw where it said Trump, that was his reelection night, his rally, but there were some that said Trump and Pence. She immediately removed the flag in South Carolina. She was waiting for the opportunity. Yep. So people forget that was Nikki Haley who started all of that. While she was good as the ambassador to the UN, I thought she did a great job. Some of her politics I'm not for. So I don't know. Okay. But I don't think that would be a good idea to remove Pence. But Pence has been, pretty quiet. And again, I'm seeing her more and more and seeing less and less of him, and seeing her with Ivanka and McMaster. I would think that McMaster would be kind of out of the picture and not having to do anything with the Trumps at this point. But apparently that's not the case. She had her arm around him, as I recall, and they were sitting very close together so that everybody could take the picture. So, but, I think if Trump's polling continues to drop, she will be considered, oh, come on, exonerated. Quit believing the crap that you think is true. My gosh. Did you look at Bernie's and even Biden's rallies as compared to President Trump, and you think the numbers are dropping? Okay. Was she born in the U.S. as her parents are from India? I think she may have been, Danielle. I can't remember. Yeah, I think she was, and her parents are from India, but that's going to stop anything. There might be a fight in the courts, but Trump is the best president ever, Rick. Absolutely. Absolutely. So we'll see. And almost as if right on time, right on target, like we've seen before, Chezzy said, I like Pence. Here comes another woman from 23, 25 years ago accusing President Trump of raping her in a dressing room. And then when asked, well, are you going to file charges? Oh, well, no, I can't. That would be unfair to all those people down there at the border. Okay. Well, good book sales are coming out. Hey, Noelle. Exactly. And what was her book called? Something like, Why Do We Need Men Anyway? Yeah, well, why do we need you anyway? Coming out with your lame stuff. It sounded so much like Blasey Ford to me. It was practically the same script. Two females, my friends, I told my friends, but of course I'm not going to name who my friends are, and the friends haven't said anything. 25 years went by, nothing happened. I mean, but it's near election time, so we got to do it. Yeah, rape Dems are getting desperate. Yep, those sex rumors are so old, makes me sick. I know, Danielle. And I don't know. Let's see. Trump isn't perfect, but he has been the best president ever. Exactly, Daniel. Yeah. So what does what does her being pretty famous in the day have to do with anything? She's a columnist. Probably the same people paid her. Chezzy said there are more people in line at the bathroom at the Trump rally in Orlando than there were combined at all the Democrat candidate rallies. Yep. And the U.S. Secret Service is responding to some suspicious package. That's breaking news right now. If it's on the internet, it's true. I know, Wayne, especially if you look it up under Google. Ford 2.0 can't trace anything. Exactly. It did. It Blasey Ford all over again, Kim. Groundhog Day all over again. It totally was. And, I don't know about you, but there aren't many dressing rooms where you could go in and be forcibly raped and people not either see your feet underneath, or if there's a door, hear something going on, or if people are screaming out, hear that. I mean, unless this dressing room was somewhere way, way, way in the back, exonerated. Listen, I know what you're trying to do. You need to just stop. This is a Trump scope with people who like Trump. Okay. That's one thing you got to face. We're not Democrats in here. You're in the wrong scope because you just want to come up with your remarks all the time. I'm going to stop. I'm not going to address them. Yeah, not a fancy place. And the thing of it is, again, why would you not do something and wait 25 years until your book comes out and then you talk about something like that? And from what I know of the news, President Trump has never been accused of raping anyone. And for the people that he has had affairs with, he's pretty much said, yep, I had an affair with that person. So, sounds more like her sexual fantasies. I don't know what it is. Thanks, Susan. You just reminded me where I left my lunchbox. Exonerate a paid troll. Yep. Even her own writing said they tussled for 3 minutes. And the thing that really disturbed me when I was reading it is her saying, oh, I bet his people are going to be so happy that he got it on with an old lady. I don't know of any rape victim who would call a rape, even in jest or what other people might think, would call it getting it on. That to me was over the top. We are loving people, not hate people like Democrats, Robin said. They think it's a bomb, Wayne said. Oh, okay. So where's the suspicious package at, Wayne? Good morning, Yuri. Ignore the troll. Yep, land. What did I miss? You missed a lot, Yuri. You need to go back and listen to the replay. Hold 1 second. Had to open the door. Why would anybody buy her book without a scandal attached? She's a nobody. Yeah, I guess she used to be a columnist, Dear Jean or whatever. What the two sisters? And she wrote one of those columns, I think. It's been a long time. But I mean, when you're coming out and you're writing a book and then you just happen to drop some information, that other people talk about over and over, the same stuff every election. Just imagine the gold digger that have gone after Trump over the years. I know this is mean, but that woman needs a pork chop tied around her neck to get attention, Kim said. Perhaps in her day, she was an attractive woman. I don't know how you end up in a dressing room when you're talking about lingerie that a person is buying for someone else. The story doesn't make sense. If she was actually raped and she filed charges and she went after him, it would be more credible. But from what I'm hearing, not credible. All she said was his pants got unzipped. That is not rape, even if it happened, Barbara said. If I tell you, they will know it's my lunchbox. It's okay, Wayne. They're going to know anyway. They always come out of the woodwork at election time. It's every election, Robin. Every election. And you wait, Roy Moore, there's going to be more Roy Moore stuff we're going to hear. There's going to be people, Roy Moore's babysitter is going to come out and say what he did to them, what he did to her, when he was a 5-year-old. Barbara said, yeah, it's 25 years ago. Pilot Mike has a, look on his face. So anyway, maybe she'll move along after the book sales are 0, but somebody will buy her book because it's like, oh, well, we feel sorry for you. Trump hurt you and we feel sorry for you with no proof, but the left will come out and have a field day. The House Oversight Committee is going to vote to subpoena Kellyanne Conway over the possible Hatch Act violations. Yes. Download the Clout Hub app. And we are way past the halfway point. If you could please retweet and share, I would really, really appreciate it. All right. That's LinkedIn. Just getting that shared. Everyone who ever had an affair with Trump speaks nice of him. Yep. Yep. That's true. Kellyanne will eat their lunch. I know, Tim. I wouldn't want to be in the same room. They don't realize Trump isn't afraid of anybody. If he did, he'd admit it. True definition of a man. Yeah, he said something that he never met her. And then somebody said, well, there's a photo of the two of you together. You know what? There's a lot of people who stand next to somebody that is somebody famous and get their photos taken that the people go, I don't even know who it is. I've never met them. And it's true in their minds. I've never met them. Kim said, I can't see other comments. So going out and coming back. Okay, Kim. How are you doing, Mike? All right. So in other news, I guess Joe Biden was asked about his son, small hands, big wallet. Biden is failing to answer questions on the campaign trail about his son Hunter, who more than once started, after his father went into different countries and started engaging in diplomacy on behalf of the United States, right after Hunter went in and started conducting business. Now, if that were the Trump kids, holy cow, there would be every kind of investigation on that in the world. My sister did some work for him and he was a good man. For Trump, Carmen, Cloud Hub is now not even in the Australian App Store when searched for. Oh, is now, yeah. You said it's still not there, Aussie. I've been meaning to ask him, but I've forgotten. So I'll do that today. It's okay, Gracie. Hey, we do not care. We know he was a player in his day. Yeah. And so what? If you're standing next to somebody, again, I can say, people do this all the time. They're like, oh yeah, Gracie, this way. Come here. They'll say something like, yeah, my friend, right? Gracie, go out this way. Gracie, go out this way. Come on. She's confused. There's two doors and she's over on the one. God doesn't throw out our past in our face. I'm not going to throw Trump's past in his face. Yeah, that's between, again, whatever Trump did in his past, when he was having an affair or whatever, do I condone it? If he did, no. Would it be something that I would think is good behavior? No, I don't. But that's between him, the people he had an affair with, God and his wife and whomever. Legal work, yes, for Mr. Trump having to do with casinos in Mississippi. The FBI just called and they want to use my bomb squad dog, Tacy. Well, Wayne, let him do it. It was there a couple of weeks back, but when tried to download, said not available, not even there now. Yeah, I'll go and ask them after the show, Nick. Mr. Trump. Okay, yeah, I know, Carmen, but it was Mr. Trump. I got it. Breaking, several streets in downtown Dallas closed, abandoned semi near the federal building. Great. Is that the suspicious package that they were talking about a minute ago? She might as well say he raped me mentally. I know, shaking my head, Daniel said. Yep. Noteworthy that no woman had anything bad to say about Trump until he ran for POTUS. Isn't that amazing, Tim? That's pretty amazing. The citizenship question, the decision on that with the Census Bureau, whether or not they can have that, is going to be decided soon by the Supreme Court. The American Civil Liberties Union, which has filed the court documents, pointed to a 2015 study conducted by Hofeller, which was a late GOP strategist, Thomas Hofeller, that found a citizenship question would help the Republicans. So that's why the Democrats are fighting so hard. If it helped the Democrats, then that would be fine. But because it could possibly help the Republicans, it's not fine. And who uncovered that and why? I care less and less what Trump did in his past because we are fighting against a village of idiots. I know, Michael. I could care less. Like I said, whatever punishment or consequence he will get for that will come from God. If he did something illegal, then the courts will take care of that. But I don't, somebody coming out and making an allegation and coming up with stuff and blah, blah, blah with no proof doesn't get me even interested. Next week, they just said it will be decided next week, Dawn said. Yeah, that's not what the Supreme Court is going to decide. When I was a kid, my stepsister's best friend, Marla, married Trump. Nice. Update on Dallas situation, cleared all roads open, Kim said. Yeah, I mean they've got to be careful about the trucks and things like that near the federal building, as we know. Um, but because of Timothy McVeigh, but I'm sure they found that everything was okay. 1.5 million alone in California being removed from the voter rolls. Yeah, that's in Los Angeles, Jerry. So, and that's thanks to Judicial Watch. So that's and it's going to take them a while to do that. So I'm sure that Judicial Watch is going to keep an eye on them to make sure that they do it. I don't know if you saw the broadcast. See, can you imagine how many illegal votes are being cast? Need voter reform? Yeah. Well, you're not going to get voter reform in California. In fact, what you're going to get in California now is San Diego, for example. This is a different subject, but what they're doing is they're putting up tent cities, basically. They're erecting these big tents for all the homeless people. They're going to be putting up about 4 of them, probably all in downtown, where people can go in. And um, they say that they're going to try to help them get back on their feet. See, most of these people need more than just a tent to live in. They do need mental health care, but we've kind of stopped giving people mental health care in a lot of respects. So I don't know. Good luck with that. But they say that the homeless population in San Diego is down while the homeless population in LA has gone on the rise. So maybe they're going from here, up to LA. That's possible. It's a big mess. But don't worry, our governor's got it under control. President Trump over the weekend said that his biggest mistake that he's made in the Oval Office is hiring Jeff Sessions. So San Diego will be the next San Francisco. I don't think so yet, Mike. LA will be there before San Diego. The tents make my neighbor rich. The tents just scare people away from downtown. Tents are a band-aid on a triple bypass. That's right, Michael. Because again, most of it is alcoholism, drug abuse, and mental illness. So if you kind of take care of that and help those people, that would be better. Gavin Newsom's press conference on ICE was disgraceful. I don't know when it was, Nick. I didn't see it. But I can't stand Gavin Newsom. When he talks, it's like Obama. I try not to listen. Yeah, my governor. Don't remind me. What's Negative Nancy doing about her state? Not a damn thing, Rick. Not a damn thing. Well, he must have been a big disappointment to Trump. Yep. Yeah, I think when he came in and he recused himself, that's when their relationship fell apart. The vice president over the weekend also said that no American should approve of this mass influx of people coming across our border. I was at the detention center in Nogales. It is heartbreaking seeing there are people who are being exploited by human traffickers. Congress has to act. Why would you act? Why would you, people are getting rich. Somebody on that, what was it I was reading on Facebook? Some guy made a comment about, oh my gosh, what was it? About these people coming across the border. Yes, I did, Jerry. People coming across the border, and he's like, I know these people are illegal, but we really can't stop them because look at how the businesses are going to be hurt. These people pay rent, they buy groceries, and they pay taxes. And so I wrote back and I said, so let me get this straight. So you're saying an illegal activity shouldn't be stopped because there's some benefit for people. Should we just then try let's just not stop human trafficking? Because that's big business. Somebody's making a lot of money on human trafficking. So because it's such big business, we should just continue to allow it to happen. And I told the person, I think your logic is very illogical, but that's just my opinion. Okay. So there was a meeting in Dubai. The Iranian lawmakers were there and they chanted death to America during a parliament session on Sunday after a speaker accused the United States of being the real world terrorist. And America is the real terrorist of the world by spreading chaos in countries, giving advanced weapons to terrorist groups, causing insecurity. And still it says, come, let's negotiate. So anyway, and as they continue to chant death to America, on Saturday, the illegals are living off the taxpayers' dollar. That's right, Kim. Yep. No one is above the law except illegal. Yeah. Except illegal aliens. That's right. They don't pay taxes. They get subsidized by the government. Yeah. Nick, for what anything that they may pay, which I doubt that they do, the government is giving them more than what they pay out. I will pay $5 an avocado as long as my wall is built. Exactly, Michael. You can't reason with evil. That's right, Rick. Oh boy, nice Dubai. Yep. Shocking that they still want us dead, Robin said. Yeah. Hey, Marlene. Good to see you. Another thing that happened over the weekend on Saturday, they kind of talked about a little bit about what's in that deal of the century that we hear so much about. They're saying that they wanted to give Palestinians about $50 billion to help them, with their homeland, whatever. Maybe Obama created that reputation. Teresa said, we have bases there. Do we not? Troops on ground on Iraq only. Lori said, Dems become president. They will raise taxes and triple our debt. Oh, Lori, it'll be worse than that. It will be worse than that. Avocados not great for you. Avocados aren't great for you, Barbara. Why do you think avocados aren't great? Why do you say that? Avocados are healthy. Good. Yum, yum. So anyway, the Palestinians are saying, we don't want your money. If we're not going to do anything. Oh, good Lord. We're not going to do anything unless you first take care of the political problem. And that is the Palestinians won't want their own states. I love avocados. Does no one understand the cost of the wall pales into insignificance with the money it will save? We understand that, Nick. High fat, do not digest easily. It's a good kind of fat though, Barbara. It's not the bad fat. I feel very uneasy with AOC, Omar Tlaib on the Foreign Affairs Committee and this issue with Iran. I think they are sharing info with them, Vicky said. Probably. Wouldn't surprise me. Nothing would surprise me that they would do. I mean, after all, hey, Abby, we're learning about Omar. Avocados are a great source of healthy fat, so good for you. That's right, Kim, it is. Come here, baby. This is Abby, aren't you? This is Gracie's sister. Yeah, avocados are great in salad, on sandwiches. I mean, it's so great. If a Democrat wins next year, Cloward and Piven will look like pikers. Yeah. Yeah, Carmen, it's Abby. Yeah. She's probably wanting something. Bernie is the only Dem that gets a crowd. He will win the nomination, I think. I don't know, Lori. They don't have very many people that they can go by. Any truth about Ilhan's marriage to relative to acquire U.S. citizenship? It's coming out more and more, Michael, that she was, I think she corrected the files. She corrected it, but that doesn't mean it didn't happen. Whether she'll get away with it, I don't know. We've tried to eat avocados. No one in my family likes them. Robin said, it's hard to make guacamole without them. A true, Wayne. That's my little babe. My little baby, Carmen said. There are tons of empty land in Saudi Arabia where they can have their own state, but they want Israel. Exactly. Daniel, they're never going to be happy until they get rid of Israel. One of the things that I heard yesterday from Pastor JD, and I know we don't see much since Gracie took over. You know, Teresa, they usually sleep. That's why you don't see them. They're usually in the bed asleep. They don't like to come out and get up before like 9 o'clock. So they get up in the morning and then they go back to bed. So they don't come in and walk around until after 9 o'clock. They're just a little different that way. Anyway, what I was going to say was Pastor JD really thinks that things are heating up in the Middle East, and that this thing with that Iran, that a lot of people aren't taking this seriously, and they should be. I'm coming to visit Abby one day, Carmen said. I use avocados to make chocolate pudding. Ooh, Vicky, good idea. So, you know, I think a lot of people are kind of being very dismissive about what's happening in Iran, but things are truly heating up. Whether this has anything to do with Isaiah 17, Ezekiel 38, 39, I don't know yet. Lots of pics in there are records that show Ilhan married her brother. PJ Media has it all. Yep. Hey, Susan, guess where I am again? Lowe's parking lot. They'll probably start charging me. Just tell them you're a millennial, Monique, and you need a place to live, and that's where you've chosen to stay. And they'll say, okay. I like the argument that Trump should starve Iran, thereby causing the citizens bring about an insurrection. Tim said, yeah, Israel was a barren wasteland until Jews flourished it. Now they want it. Exactly, Daniel. And Pastor JD was also saying that along with the natural gas and oil that's in Israel, in the Golan Heights, that there's also a lot of gold there. Iran is not Iraq. It's a huge deal. Michael said, chocolate pudding with avocado. Aussie Nick said, I'm going to tuck her in my coat and sneak her home with me. You won't get very far, Carmen. Gog and Magog. That's right, Rick. So it's all, you know, whether it's happening or not, whether this is it or not, I don't know. But I will tell you something. I want to share, you know, something personal with you. I was feeling like yesterday, and this may be part of what Robin was talking about, is that I was feeling like, you know, I need to get closer to God, that there's an urgency to do that. And there's an urgency for me to know more about what God wants me to do. And I was trying to figure out what exactly I needed to do. I had some idea, but I wasn't exactly sure. And I wanted to hear from God. Well, I was on Facebook, and it just so happened that a pastor at a church I used to attend years ago came on, and guess what he talked about? How to get closer to God, what you need to do. So everything that he was saying were some things that I was thinking about. And so for me, this was God confirming for me, this is what I need to do. Did you see this weekend where the UN would not make any comments on Iran this weekend? Vicky said. Not surprising, Vicky. The UN is not our friend. So that's one thing you have to always remember. They're not our friend. So, you know, it is interesting. I think that Iran, they're not done. I don't know what more they're going to do. Just now breaking news that Trump imposes new strong sanctions on Iran. So getting ready to take my daughter to get a state ID. Both of my kids start working this week. Wow. That's pretty good, Robin. You mean they're not going to live off the government dole? Every time I take my eyes off of God, bad things instantly happen. Exactly, Daniel. Hey, Jason, how are you? Absolutely. Trump says signing hard-hitting sanctions on Iran. You're doing a great job for God Almighty, the creator of all. Thank you, Rick. Iran is a peaceful nation. The people of Iran, Jason, are peaceful. The government of Iran is not peaceful. I've never seen them speechless, though they're afraid of Trump, Vicky said. No, they've been taught to work unlike the freeloaders. There you go, Robin. Obama and Clooney hanging out together. I saw that. Was that a date, Lori, that they were on? Because they were both dressed alike. I know they were supposedly going to some event, but it's, you know. A Massachusetts man is facing 7 counts of negligent homicide. That was another breaking news that came up. Yeah, I've met people from Iran. I know people from Iran. And they're very nice people, but the government, not so nice. Devil worshippers aren't peaceful. Well, Rick, to be fair, in Iran, most of those people are more secular. Late for the party this morning. Hey, Andra. The government is radical. Yeah, the government is the one that is demonic. I was attacked terribly yesterday by the enemy with a feeling of doom and gloom. Teresa, there's no gloom and doom. If you go and meet your maker, why is that gloom and doom? Do you think Trump and Kim are both loose cannons? No, I don't. I think Kim is, but I don't think Trump is. If Trump were a loose cannon, Jason, he would have gone over to Iran and just killed people there at the 150. I've met people from Pakistan, total jackass, bad country, unlike Iranians. Yeah, I don't have anything to say about Pakistanis. I don't really know any. I don't like to admit these things, but it was odd. Teresa, I think that's just God letting you know that things are happening, that not all is well in the world, that while our economy is good, while President Trump has done amazing things, we are still in the end times. Iranian citizens are pro-USA. American flag shirts are popular at house parties, Tim said. Clooney and Obama are on Clooney's boat zipping around today, Michael said. Yes, isn't that sweet? If you ain't paying to God, then you're a devil worshiper. Well, but Rick, they've been taught to be secular. So I give people some grace in that way. It's our job, Rick, to continue to talk about God and bring people to God and give them the opportunity to come to God. Some people, they're not told about God, and that's not how they're raised. Obama had an Iranian advisor, Valerie Jarrett. Yeah. Jesus said, stop sinning, lest something worse comes upon you, Daniel said. If Trump was a loose cannon, he would have showed that side years ago, Kim said. Absolutely. And if he was a loose cannon, Kim, he would have allowed 150 people to die when they shot down an unmanned drone. I'm so sorry. And well, it's a terrible feeling. Teresa, there's nothing to be sorry about. Word in the street, Kanye West will be running for president next year. Jason, who knows? I mean, Kanye's probably got some really good ideas and certain things, but Kanye is like, sometimes really out there. Don't think that makes for a good president. Not that anybody in his age group would care, but I'm just saying. I would want my president to be a little bit more stable than that. He's all over the place sometimes. And I get it. He's a genius. But I don't know that he's a genius that could run the country. So anyway, keep watching, keep listening. Maybe, get more into the word, because I think that's what we are all going to need at this point, to get more into the word, focusing more on God. Go to the book of Daniel. He would tell you what happens to the eagle. Harold said he is better than Obama. Well, yeah, that goes without saying. Bernie and Kanye trying to get the youth vote. Oh, God. Yeah. Kanye West is a loose cannon. Well, I don't know how loose cannon he is, but I don't know that he could be running the country. I mean, he has some ideas that, he thinks out of the box. I'll give him that. But sometimes being way outside the box is not necessarily what you need to run the country. So let's see. Who do you think will win the trade war? China, USA? Yeah, I don't know, Jason. That's a hard one. Let's hope we do. I think Oprah could possibly jump in next year, depending on how it's going for Dems. Yeah, Andrea, she's talking about getting her talk show up and going again. Monique said, I was just thinking that I need to spend more time getting into the word. Yeah, honestly, Monique, that was the message that I got out of it, and the message that I really think needs to happen. Because that's how, as your maturity level, as your walk with God continues and you grow in that, and you are more mature in your walk, let's say, I think that, God talks to you differently and demands more from you and expects more from you. And I think that that's why sometimes how we used to hear from God, we don't hear the same way. And I think his way of talking to us is more being in the word, right? We need more of the word. I know, not reading every day as I did, Teresa said. Good show today. Tim said, thank you. Thank you, Tim. Trump showed great wisdom, not overreacting. When 150 would die, he still authorized cyber strikes. Exactly, Nick. We always win, Wayne said. Yep, heard Kamala Harris will be challenging Trump. To what? Arm wrestling? Seriously, Kamala Harris, Tulsi Gabbard, these are dumb people. Yeah, pretty much so. Trump announcing further sanctions on Iran. Yep. Thank you for doing all that you do. Have a blessed day to all. Thank you, Michael. Everybody, if you would, please share this. It is not not man in the world like President Trump. He's a genius and ordinary people can't understand. You're welcome, Nick. Thank you. Please, if you would, retweet this, and I will see everyone tomorrow. God bless you. Take care.